Hey, I want to talk about selling your house when your life already feels completely maxed out. Kids, work, schedules that change weekly, someone always needs something, and the idea of adding selling a house on top of all of that feels like a lot. And before we go any further, heck, I have kids too, I get it. So if you're already stretched thin and thinking, I don't even know how this would work, you're not being dramatic. You're being realistic. Because most advice about selling a house assumes you have free evenings, quiet weekends, spotless home, and time to prep like this is a fun little side project. That's not real life, especially with kids. So let's talk about how selling actually works when your schedule's already insane. First, you do not need a perfect house. You do not need magazine level staging, a home that looks untouched and unlived in, a life that pauses every time someone wants to see it. When buyers are actually looking for is not perfection. They're looking for function. They're asking, does this layout work? Does this house feel cared for? Can I picture myself here? And buyers with kids especially expect real life. They expect some mess, somewhere, some evidence that humans actually live there. A house that feels lived in but cared for is completely fine. Second, selling with kids is about systems. So if you try to just keep it clean all the time, you'll burn out in 3 days. What actually works is having simple systems that don't rely on perfection. For example, a quick daily reset, 10 to 15 minutes, that's it. One basket per kid. Everything on the floor goes in the basket, and that basket gets put in the garage, in the trunk, in a closet. Is it pretty? No. Does it work? Yes. And this is where I need to say something that makes people visibly relax when I say it out loud. People always ask me, but what if buyers look in the closets? Yeah, they're going to look in the closets. And no one ever has walked away from a house because there was stuff in the closet. No one has said, great house, great layout, great location, but man, those closets had jackets and backpacks. That's what closets are for. Closets are storage, not museums. Buyers expect shoes, coats, bins, life. So if your choice is between perfectly organizing everything or shoving it in a closet and moving on with your day, you shove it in the closet. It's not lazy, that's practical. Third, you need realistic showing boundaries. You do not need to say yes to every showing request. You're allowed to block certain times, protect your mornings and evenings, limit short notice showings if your life doesn't allow for them. Selling your house does not mean your household has to be constantly on standby. A good selling strategy works with your schedule, not against it. So if mornings are chaos, we protect your mornings. And if evenings are packed with activities, we just plan around that. You do not suddenly need to become someone with unlimited flexibility. Fourth, strategy matters more than constant availability. So a well-prepared house with strong photos, clear pricing, a clear plan will outperform a stressed out household trying to accommodate absolutely everything. You don't need endless showings, you need the right ones. Good prep up front reduces disruption later, and that's where a lot of that stress disappears. Fifth, your job is not to manage the sale emotionally. This part's huge. Selling while juggling kids, work, and a life is already enough. You should not also be carrying every question, every piece of feedback, every opinion, every little detail. That's my job. Your job is to live your life. My job is to manage the process for you. If selling feels overwhelming, it's usually not because you can't handle it, it's because you're trying to handle too much of it. You don't need to be available 24/7. You need a plan that respects your reality. And last thing, because this one really matters, you do not have to sell your house the way someone else did. You do not need to copy your neighbor, follow Instagram rules, make your life harder than it needs to be. There's a version of selling that fits into a busy life. It's not perfect. It's not Pinterest ready, but it works. If you're thinking about selling, but your life already feels really full, that doesn't mean it's the wrong time. It just means the plan needs to match your reality.